Ta-da! The map that you saw there is part of today's presentation. Yes, how are y'all today? It's Dadman Walking 55 here with another chill chat or something. We're going to try to talk a little bit about the Battle of Shiloh, Pittsburg Landing. Today marks the end of this two-day battle 162 years ago. They had demonstrations this weekend. They even posted at the park that they had cavalry demonstrations, which was always something cool to see. I hope to share some pictures from one of our visits there many, many years ago. We did hit it on the way back from Colorado last year, too. A lot quicker, but we don't have those pictures in this one. I think they're in a different place. But hey, we shall see where we go with whatever topical comes up. Also depends on what comes through with the chat. As you know, sometimes when we just do chill chats, we kind of take cues from the audience, and if there's things that we like, hey, we'll experiment. We'll look at it. So, and actually, we have 609 subs now on the YouTube side. So thank you again for everybody for your support. So make sure you are still subscribed to the channel. Hit that like button. Share out this stream if you can. Let's keep growing to 750, and then the world. We'll conquer it one kingdom at a time, one war, one battle at a time. But hey, also something that might be talked about is tomorrow is supposed to be in parts of the country a complete total 100% solar eclipse, which if you've never experienced is really, really interesting to do because it does get dark. It's really weird to see. Of course, take all the precautions, listen to all the official places for your safety information, and have your glasses. So, yeah. So, well, let's say, hey, we've got 6 here on the YouTube side. Let me fix the Twitch side. This Twitch side's glitching a little bit. Been doing that a lot lately when we've gone live. So, all right, right there. All right. And folks, like I said, please feel free to share the stream out. We can take this in a number of different ways, so we'll see how we go. And of course, with Stunning coming in, boobs and butt, the two B's that started all off. What a wonderful topic. We had plenty of boo and butt talk the last time when we had our friend Masters on. That was quite interesting. Friday, I believe, was it Friday night or was it Thursday night? Oh God, all these nights go. The days go so quick. I don't know what day it is. All I know is I gotta go back to work tomorrow. And who wants to really go back to work tomorrow? I know I don't. But hey, got to do it. Got to pay the bills, and we go from there. All right, boobs and butt. Way to hit started off though, Stunning. Great job, great job. And hello, humans and other critters from the great Snorta Poopas Key Burr. Hello, sir. How are you today? I'm sure that you love Battle of Shiloh because one of your favorite generals was very instrumental in the way this battle went down, and major effect on the course of the rest of the war. Hello, the trusty ape. Happy Sunday to you. Welcome. Good to see you again. How are you doing today? And like Snorta Poopa said, Shiloh, when the northern troops were warned by rabbits running out of the woods and ignored them. If it had been squirrels, exactly. You would have gotten the message a lot faster with squirrels. That's what we squirrels do. We bring it to your attention. But no, bunnies. Now all we need is for Killer Rabbit to come by and see that comment. So, yeah, hey, that's no problem. You do what you got to do, Stunning. That is awesome. And I saw the picture on Twitter. That is an amazing job that you've done on that artwork. So yeah, you keep good. You do what you need to do. I know that they're going to be excited about that with those princesses. So, all right. Well, that's what we've got now. We've got 7 people watching, 6 on the YouTube, 1 on the Twitch side. Follow us on Twitch, and like and subscribe here on the YouTube side. So, let's start with let's talk about the solar eclipse that's coming tomorrow. So, let's see this. This I don't have anybody. Has anybody experienced what they call the totality of the complete solar eclipse? It's not just a normal eclipse. It is actually it's where you have complete darkness as as a result of it. So No, that's not the map I really wanted. This is what I used for the. Let's see. This is what I used for the New Year's stream. But no, let's see if we can find a better one. I think there's a better one that we hear. We'll go to NASA. We'll go to NASA here with 8 people here today. But if you've never witnessed this before, of course, like I said, take all the precautions that they say to do, and everything that you need to do. But and it actually has how it's different than the. Wow, that's interesting. It says that it will be different than the 2017 eclipse, which is what which was what we've got to see. What usually happens with this, we normally can't see the corona, the sun's outer atmosphere, because the sun's surface below is so much brighter. But during a total solar eclipse, the corona becomes visible. It gives you unique opportunities to study and stuff. And yes, welcome, Simply Steve. Yes, it only lasts a few minutes, and at most only one spot. I'm trying to get the graphic that I had found the other day that actually had a better map with this, because basically pretty much most of North America will get exposed to this. Oh, crap. I hate when to bring something up and you can't minimize the stupid countdown clock. Let's see. Here we go. There we go. We can do it like this. All right. Oh, wow. So, all right. Here we go. Here's what we got. It's the totality is what we said. And like you said, it's only for a few minutes. It's very, very quick. Let's see, like it's going to be down here in Mexico, then come up through the Midwest. Whatever we want it to be, Putin's topic. Right now, we're starting on the eclipse tomorrow, the total solar eclipse tomorrow, and then we're going to talk about the Battle of Shiloh. But as you can see, if you're anywhere around Dallas to central Arkansas up through Indianapolis, you're going to get the totality. Cleveland. It's which in 2017 we were over here in the map over in South Carolina near Greenville, South Carolina. There's a part, a national Revolutionary War battlefield, Battle of Musgrove Mill. We had found out about a part that we stumbled on many years ago. Aang went and swam in the waterfalls and things like that. So it was a nice part. Well, when we saw in 2017 the map and with where it was going to go, we're like, hey, let's go there. And they actually offered viewing. You just had to register early, and we registered early, but we also got there hours before it happened. So we were able to get there for prime, and we had beautiful weather. So see, like Steve said here, it's supposed to be raining here in Minnesota. It'll get darker than normal, even at 80%. Like he mentioned, 80% in Minnesota. See, Minnesota's up in here. There's no other grids that show what the proportionality of the blackout that you will have. So if Minnesota's up in 80%, you can see how far it's out. But this is going to be a big thing here is your local weather conditions. I've seen rain forecasts like in Texas and places like that. So, if you're going to have rain, you might not be able to see it, which would be very disappointing because it's really, really cool. It really is different than your normal eclipses. They're actually a lot of places either close work or close schools, or even in Florida here, some places where it's like 60%, they're actually doing away with PE outside tomorrow, or recess, or some sports training. So it is interesting, but this is what the totality looks like, the path. So there's a center point, and then out to the west and north, and then out to the south and east. You've got this in these areas is where you will see the 100% of it. Now, of course, like I said, always take precautions. Always follow your local authorities' advice of the proper way to view these things, because you can suffer damage from that. So let's see. Yeah. So, and according to the officials, and this is what it was, that is that, you just follow the guidance. They'll tell you when you can either look at it or not look at it. Best thing is go get, and in 2017, everybody issued special cool looking, yeah, for your face. Yes. It's like a thigh tie. Well, listen, you know why we have to listen to the thigh ties? Because of the lawyers. That's why. And hello, Emily Gangadine. Hello. Oh, you're never late. You're always here right on time when you need to be. But hey, the important thing is that you are here today. So thank you so much for being here today with this. I do want to find the map that has the different percentages to show. Here we go. This is the map I was looking for. So let's do this. Okay, let's expand this. Let's do it another time there. Okay. All right, here we go. We got nothing. No thanks. You'll just watch it on TV. Late pass. All right. As long as you don't have another, you're okay from detention. All right. This is the projected path here, path of the total eclipse. Like I said, where it's yellow, you'll get the whole the totality. As simply Steve was saying earlier, Minnesota's out here. That's in the 60% range, up to 70% range, depending on. See, each of these grid lines come this way. Actually, some parts of Minnesota could get up to 75%. So it varies for where you are. If you, though, are here like anywhere in Dallas or Cleveland, I mean, you're going to have a good, the real thing. The plain thing is get there safely and early. Our friend JT Kirk actually talked about driving down to Toledo to hit the Waffle House. To witness the thing, which is kind of cool. So even in Florida, it's going to be about 50%. It's about 45% down in Miami, up to about 80% out in the Florida Panhandle. Yeah, so about 80% in the Florida Panhandle. So there you go. So I wonder what it will look like between 80 and 60%. So fly to Mexico? No, probably not. Don't spend the money. Go somewhere safe. All right. So this is basically where we go. So like you said earlier, in California, yeah, you're really going to have next to nothing out there. But yeah, check your glasses. Exactly. They have special glasses for these things. Hey, Wade, good to see you too. Yeah, that's a wide darkening path. It really truly is. It's amazing how much of the area is covered by it. It's safer than Texas. Okay. But like I said, in 2017, we were in this area that now will be near. Let's see. It's this area here was where we were. It's in the 80 to 85% this time. Last time it was a total, and what's interesting is it just happens very slowly, but then again, you start to see pieces, and then next thing you know, then it flies by. It's like then you see complete darkness. A couple minutes later, it starts to move over. Then daylight returns to normal. What was interesting, you heard Vermont will be clear. Well, if you look at it, if Vermont's got good weather, Vermont should, part of it in Vermont's in the totality and parts not, but it's like up to 95% if it's not. So that's, it just depends on your local weather situation. That's the biggest thing. So be safe. If you want to look at it, go look at it, have fun with it. It's a new breaking event. This has been on the map for a long time. Follow all the safety protocols, do some research on it. Space.com, NASA, look to different places, have plenty of information about proper viewing, about how everything, what causes it, explains why this is important, why it's one of the eclipses that people really look at that is a lot different than just your normal eclipse every year. So, and I believe it's because it's the part time that we actually have the parts of the United States where we have totality. So, um, so, so one of the articles of space.com says here, talking about the region of visibility, is that normally total solar eclipses they call it perverse habit of avoiding major population areas, kind of like I do. I don't want to go to DC and Miami and stuff. But what's true that a few eclipses in their sample, 14 pass over large metropolitan areas. For the most part, total viewing audience is composed chiefly of small towns and communities. Even the 1970 eclipse, which paralleled the Atlantic seaboard, the shadow completely missed the heavily populated northeast corridor. The large population that experienced totality was Norfolk, Portsmouth, Virginia, area of 508,000 people. And the total number of people within the entire totality zone probably numbered less than 2 million. In contrast, the total eclipse of 2017, whose path stretched from coast to coast, encompassed a viewing audience of 11 million people. But this eclipse on April 8th will pass over many metropolitan areas, like we talked about: Dallas, Cleveland, Indianapolis, from Texas to northern New England, giving an estimated 32 million people a chance to witness firsthand this event. So it's very likely the largest time, the largest concentration of people to be immersed under the moon's dark umbral shadow in the history of the United States. The eclipse is caused when the giant space cat pushes the Earth off the turtle's back, hides it behind the moon, and blocks the sun. There you go. That's the way to say it. That's the way it is. There you go, Snort Poopa. So, but of other things that are kind of fun with this is, sometimes things jump up and, they're fun. And if you were not with us the other night, we talked about this. Businesses celebrate. They do memes, all kinds of different things. One of the things that we did see here, and hello, Jess, good to see you tonight. How are you today? Yep. How are you doing, Jess? I guess you probably, you studied astronomy. Yes. Kind of like, I think you and Stunning did. So, actually, I'm going to go back to that. So, let's see. Oh, Jess. Oh, wow. Jess, you should have a fairly decent view if you're not in totality tomorrow. Depends on where you are up in Illinois, but it's like, even in the middle part of Illinois is anywhere from 90 to 95%. So, yeah. So, all right. But hey, let's see. But like we said, the last time that we were, wow. Oh my gosh. Well, this is interesting. Wow. I'm kind of surprised by something. So I will show you what we experienced here. All right. This is what we had in 2017. And we'll show it here. It is basically this. This we had Boeing. I don't know. Oh, you're closer in the 90% area. Okay. But listen, this is what we got last time we were up in South Carolina. We just figured, hell, let's go get some Krispy Kreme donuts and go to the park. Then we got there and we saw, hey, they have Eclipse donuts. And of course, the line's out the door. Like I said, we left early in the morning for like a 12 to 2 o'clock event because we got out and got ahead of the show. So we got we got it, stood in line, got the donuts. Of course, we shared them with the Rangers and some of the other people at the park because they had not heard of it. So you can see that there's sometimes special events and special things that they do with that. But I am going to look at something. Let me see about this. Let's see. Because I think that they're doing something new this year, though. So let me see with this. Let me see. Yes. Yes. All right. All right. Now remember, last time it was just a normal. Let me go actually to Krispy Kreme's website because there's a news story. But remember what I said last time that it was just a chocolate donut. Oh, you won't eat. You won't wake up if you eat those. Well, wait till you see what apparently they're doing for 2024. Oh shit! Oh shit! Misses! We got to make a road trip in a little bit. These are the donuts from Krispy Kreme. It is not just a, oh my God, available 4/5 through 4/8 while supplies last. Oh my gosh. It's not just a chocolate donut now, a chocolate covered donut. It's, wow. According to Krispy Kreme's website, and folks, we don't encourage the purchasing of stuff, even if we do. It's the total solar eclipse donut. It'll be a black chocolate icing, sprinkled with silver sprinkles, piped with buttercream, made with Oreo cookie pieces, and topped with an Oreo cookie. Wow. So, not like this. I believe that these type, you have got to go find yourself a Krispy Kreme location to find it. Total ellipse of the pancreas. Yeah. Road trip. Hey, CLS Studio. I agree. I don't think that Mrs. in there working for her show tomorrow. And by the way, her Sunday shows are now at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. Just a little later in the morning. But hey, today was first good. But oh my gosh, folks, this is so a total dozen solar eclipse specialty order. Wow. You get 6 original glazed and 6 total eclipse donuts made with Oreo. This is 4/5 through 4/8. Today's 4/7. Oh crap. You know what? This may be a short stream tonight. If I end up we may have to. Oh, golly. Oh boy. Distraction, Dad, man. Distraction. Yes. You got the buttercream. Look at that. And the Oreo cookie. Yeah. And look here. You only get 6. That's more than enough for what you need. One is probably, I'm sure it's way over that. Maybe one icing is 1,200 calories, but this is the type of stuff people do and companies do for events like this too. It is, oh my gosh. Exactly. Sort of poopus. Stream canceled due to Krispy Kreme. So anyway, oh gosh. Let me see. Jess sent me. Jess, I know you sent me something. Let me take a look at that real quick. Oh my gosh. Oh, got to come down off that high. I got a big high just looking at that thing. Oh, Jess. Yay. We'll have to, if not today, we'll have to do this definitely sometime. Maybe when Hungary is around. So, let's see. Oh gosh. All right. Had to send a message to the missing. Insanity, welcome. Good evening. How are you tonight? Good to see you too. Evening to you. Wow. Sorry for that distraction. We got 2 on Twitch that are watching. Make sure you follow us over there. 8 over here on YouTube. Make sure you hit that like and we'd love to have you subscribe here. And tonight's kind of a chill stream where we lay back and just kind of go with whatever the hell I want to talk about and things like that. So actually, I want to do this. You've the blueberry shortcake flavored with the same type of cake. Oh, that's cool. Actually, the one thing I did think about I gotta decide. I gotta figure out if they're actually participating around here. That would suck, wouldn't it? Yes, yes, yes. All right. Oh, thank you, Insanity. Welcome. I appreciate it. And that would make you number 610. Hey, I like round even numbers. Thank you so much. Yes, Insanity. Welcome. Thank you so much. And I don't know if you want to chill. I don't know how your diet is allowed or whatever else, but hey, uh, tonight you get a virtual eclipse donut courtesy of us right there. Ta-da! Wow. I am going to go try to hunt these mother humpers down when we're done. And I suggest Insanity welcome. Insanity welcome. Welcome to you. Check out our streams and our other videos and stuff because we do late night squirrel streams with late night and friends. It can kind of funny. We just sit back, laugh. We avoid politics, religion, all the other crap, controversies. The worst I can do is sometimes if my friend Masters gets me on a Star Wars rampage. But oh, that's a good diet. Yes, seafood, eat it. You sound like kind of our resident polar bear snort poop with Q-Burr too. All right, well, folks, that is the type of stuff that happens with the eclipse. And wow, I am so distracted with that daggum. I am so distracted with that. I mean, I thought that they would just make plain chocolate donuts like they did last time, but they actually went above and beyond this time. So, and we do plan on talking a little bit about the 162nd anniversary of the Battle of Shiloh or Pittsburg Landing. Okay, folks, do not do this in real life. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Oh gosh, St. Petersburg. Oh, wow. If you will do a road trip early tomorrow, do not do this. You've been warned. Do not do this in real life. It's a freaking joke, especially to somebody like me, as a Cowboy fan. Dad, why are we staring at the clips so we never have to watch another Cowboys game, son? Yep. There you go, as a Cowboys fan. Oh. You want to know what really happens during a solar eclipse? Photobomb. Does that mean I can moon people? Because I like photobombing everybody, especially news camera. Oh my goodness. Yep. So, okay. Oh, well, you want a weird one? This combines a lot of the different franchises. Your tinfoil hats, I think, somewhat Star Wars, and your Eclipse watchers. This has to be up in the Dakotas, though. The Black Hills. There you go. You got some tinfoils out here, so hey. Oh man. There's some cool memes here that it's like you just hey, for you Indiana Jones fans out here, here's another thing about the solar eclipse. It's so beautiful. You gotta do the specific glasses that they refer to you. So, and yeah, not the one in Russia. I guess the missus has ignored my text that I sent her. Oh shoot! Sorry about that. I thought the phone was muted, but hey, it's my backup chat watcher. All right. Well, hey, if you cannot see the eclipse in person, if you're not in the area totality, there's no fear. You got it made. You know why? Because you can still see the total eclipse. All right? Yeah, you can. Just watch here. For those unable to see it in person, there you go. A total eclipse. All you need to do is make the card in a heart shape, and you could say a total eclipse of the heart. Turn around, bright eyes. Okay, that should have been a song we sang last night at karaoke. I just thought about that. But hey, anyway, it definitely is different having not having somebody here to laugh. But hopefully, you guys out there in the chat are laughing along with this and having some fun with these things. Oh my goodness! So let me see. I'm trying to get the. Oh, you're near. What's wrong with you? It's like, oh my gosh, 38 miles. Well, Jess, I think you should drive 38 miles. Leave now, go tonight, and get that one. Check and make sure it's a participating store, though. So, I got to call the missus real quick because it's like, Mrs., you gotta, we gotta. Well, the thing is, I got to prepare her to be going, leaving. So, and if she's not listening to the stream, then I got to prepare her because she's getting ready for tomorrow's stream in the morning. No, I think she's muted. No, she's not answering. All right. Well, hey, anyway, we tried. Hey, Mrs., we're leaving tomorrow. I mean, tonight. Get ready. Sorry for yelling. That's an advantage of having a small house. You can just yell down the hallway. The only problem is that when everybody's streaming it can get picked up anywhere else. The funniest thing is when my kid Ang, who was always the streamer, hated when I walked in on him, and now Hank walks in all the time on us. So, all right, you're playing X4. Oh, cool. While you listen, yeah, checking here at the jokes. Awesome, great to see. Putin's got 3 miles away, but try to avoid. I understand Putin's cat, and I do. And if you can't eat them, you don't do it, and stuff like that. But if it's something that you could have, I think it's just cool to see what they look like, even if you only bought one. You're at work, so you won't be able to go tonight, and then tomorrow you got around time of eclipse. Well, hey, be safe on the road though, okay? Because I know that there's a lot of concerns with the change in the lighting and stuff, those type of things. So, yeah, but we end up having fun with it around here. My kid used to really hate it too, but we just laugh it off and have fun with it. It's usually not bad, and usually they don't come trying to interrupt. It's just you can only sit here for so long with somebody. Oh, hey, Mrs. Hey,
sorry, I wasn't completely set up, but yes, go ahead.
I meant for you to just come here, but I have got something. When this stream is over, we've got to go. You remember?
Okay.
You remember 2017? Oh gosh, yeah. Snorter Poopus has nobody walking in front of him, so he must be scary. You're cuddly. No, you remember 2017?
Hello, Snorter Poopus, by the way. And everybody else that's here, Putin, Cat, Jess. Oh,
And we got a new
Insanity,
sub tonight.
welcome.
Yes,
Hello.
Insanity. So, Mrs., if you don't mind, go ahead and put your link out too, because Insanity Welcome says they like, free of drama.
Do they have the Eclipse donuts again?
I'm going to show it what happened this year. So if you want to put your thing, because Mrs. has her show every morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, except for Sundays now at 1 p.m. For your daily dose of positivity. So, hi, Miss Stabman. Very distracted. Yes, thank you, Jad. Okay, all right. Here we go. You remember in 2017 they were just chocolate covered donuts, right? Well, they've now got the solar eclipse donut.
Okay. Oh my gosh, that's so silly.
Yes, it's an original glazed donut dipped in black chocolate icing, sprinkled with silver sprinkles, piped with a buttercream made with Oreo cookie pieces, and topped with the Oreo cookie.
Oh, that's so silly.
I'm serious. I'm like, when I'm done, we're going to go. I know where the closest one is, and we can go get some.
Oh.
I might change my plans tonight, but I'll talk to you about that first because I've got to share it with our friend that does his eatery on Sunday night. So, and look, Insanity Welcome, I think it's also subbed over to you too.
Thank you so much. I was waiting for Dad Man to quit talking to thank you for that. Appreciate it very much.
I like my Putin's cat donut serves 3. If you watched our friend Lorena Creole and does some at the donut shops down there at Disney and Universal, it's like, oh my gosh, they are. You remember that day we were down there and I couldn't even finish one of the donuts.
Oh yeah, they were crazy.
Yeah, and yes, you're right, Snortopoopus. Make sure they'll have the special first. They're open till 10. I already checked the hours. I'm ahead of you. But yeah, but look what they've done is they've got a total solar eclipse specialty dozen. You get a half dozen of the regular glazed and then half dozen of the solar eclipse
That
donuts.
makes so much more sense because, my gosh, how much of that can you eat? Those solar eclipse ones. Oh, just looking at them just makes my teeth hurt. I'm not saying
Yeah.
they're not good. I'm just saying they look very, very sweet.
Oh, and bring Snortopoopus a dozen, so he's down for
Okay,
it.
we'll bring them to you.
So that's
See,
what I wanted. Yeah, go ahead.
when we did it, they only had it the day of, I think.
I believe so too. Yeah.
So this is they're realizing that people are idiots and will buy stuff like this.
Woohoo! Woohoo! I like that.
You need to call and make sure they have them
Okay.
before we go.
Okay.
So after your show,
All
you
right.
can do that.
Uh,
How's everybody doing tonight? Pretty good? I'm doing pretty good. I'm in slow mo, but
yeah. See, do you think this meme here applies to me for this?
yes. Yes, I do.
They claim 450 calories per donut. I don't buy that either, Putin's cat. I do not. And see, all of our streams, so many of our streams end up making people hungry. You're
Yeah, we
tired
end
about
up
hanging in
talking
there?
about food.
Yeah, it's a great topic, you know.
So you're tired, but old bird by hanging in there. I hope your game day was good with the fam.
Mm-hmm.
That's such a neat tradition to have. I think that's so cool. We tried doing like game days, but we always got so involved in other things that they never quite happened. But a wonderful, wonderful idea.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that's. I was just doing some memes and stuff. Did you have any memories of 2017 to share? I mean, since
Of
you're
the
here,
eclipse,
yeah.
I loved our T-shirts. I loved the fact that we had donuts and we shared them with the Rangers, and they were so excited. Oh, you had to when we they did it. We actually made a reservation at a national
Yes, it
park,
does, Jess. Oh, it's a state
right?
park. It's a
Was
state
it a
park.
state park?
Yeah.
And I thought that was really neat. So we got there early and just kind of hung out with the kids. And we brought a dozen donuts. And it was so neat because, the person that was manning the gate, we like, would you like an eclipse donut? And they're like, yes, and they got one. And so we go see that. Would you like an eclipse donut? And they're like, sure. So we got to share donuts with all the Rangers, and then they loved our shirts, which said "I blacked out at Milton." What was it, Milton State Park?
Musgrove Mill.
Musgrove Mill
Musgrove Mill.
State Park, and they loved the T-shirts, and they said, "Oh, we would love to have one." So we called the guy that made them for us. He says, "Hey, can you make 5 shirts for me?" And he's like, "Sure." And so we made shirts for him, and we shipped them to him, and it was really, really it was cool. It was very neat. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff I remembered. The eclipse, I'll be honest with you, it was like, okay, I was not totally thrilled with it. It didn't. It was it was what it was. Um, I think all the stuff around it and talking with people and all that was to me the best part of the eclipse.
Exactly. It was fun. It was a big social event. And
Yeah,
people got there early because it did fill up.
yeah. Well, everybody had reservations.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a spot, but we got like a primo spot. We took our chairs out. We put a blanket on the ground. It was
But
just
we're weird. We're weird anyway. We show up like 5 hours early for anything.
well. This we figured why not? Let's get in here and let's just kind of chill, and we
See,
did.
we know people in Austin. We know people in Missouri. We know people up in Dayton, and it's like just this year, life gotten away from being able to do a road trip.
Yeah.
It's a shame because I would love to do it again. Uh,
Yeah.
but if, like I said, if we're going to have about 65%, I think. So
Yeah,
it's
and
going to be
somewhere
interesting
we
to see
still
what we
have
have.
somewhere I think we still have the solar eclipse glasses.
Yep. So special
So,
solar eclipse glasses. Like we always
yeah.
say, listen to the professionals, read the guidance on it, and
Because
there's
if you don't use those special glasses, it literally burns a hole in your eye.
yeah. So
And
we
and
don't
you
want
might
that.
not see it right away, but you have permanent eye damage.
Yeah.
So don't do it, guys.
Yeah.
Use the
This is
proper eyewear that they recommend.
they said that in 2017 with the map the way it took, like where we were in South Carolina, it about 11 million people were in the totality. This map here, because you got like Dallas, Fort Worth,
Uh-huh.
you got
How much do
Cleveland,
they say?
about 32 million
Oh, wow.
should be in the totality. So, and
It's
Jess
gonna be
said she
between 90 and 98% where you're at, Insanity. Cool.
oh, Southeast Texas. Yep. All right. There's so many dang people in Texas these days.
And
It's
Snortopoopas said
amazing.
that their game day was fun, silly but fun. Almost killed themselves with critical failure roles. It was like the Three Stooges. I
Yep.
love,
I
I
love
love
that.
days like that. I do.
Exactly. All right. Well, that's what I had with this, and I'm glad you got to jump on. I'm surprised by that, and I'll have to call when the stream's over to see if they have any tonight. If not,
Hmm.
I'd like to go get one tonight because to share with our friends. So,
Yes.
um, but I've got to wait. Um, actually, all right. They're open till 10. I'm just afraid of them being out for the day.
Well, call them and ask them.
Can you take over for a second?
Okay. I don't know what to talk about. Hey guys, go ahead. He's checking out the donut thing because that's what he does. Yeah, it's just been a kind of a cool day. I changed my stream to 1 p.m., which I think it's going to work. So that was very nice. Didn't get any extra sleep though because I had to get up and we went to church, but that was nice nonetheless. Let's see who is here. We got Snortopoopus and Putin's cat and Insanity. Welcome. Jess is here. I believe that might be all that's here, at least in the part where I flipped. Oh, see, I saw Studio was in at least for a bit. That's cool. Um, but yeah, I if I was near the eclipse, I would go watch it and it'd be cool. But I don't feel like really to go to it. Um, so yeah, been I don't know what to talk about, guys. I get all talked out in my morning show. Um, I really don't know what to. Krispy Kreme donuts. I got a story about Krispy Kreme donuts with Dad Man, and you guys have probably heard this. When we were dating, Dad Man brought Krispy Kreme donuts to our house. Now there's it's uh was at that time my mom and my sisters, and he comes in, he brings these donuts, and he's just this typical dad man, and he sets them on the counter, the little bar counter that we had, and he stands in front of them talking to us about these Krispy Kreme donuts. And we all want a warm Krispy Kreme donut because that's the only way you really should eat Krispy Kreme donuts is when they're warm. That's when they're the best, I think, my opinion. Um, yes, I did do the word puzzle today, Snortopoopus, and we won victory. So he's standing in front of these Krispy Kreme donuts, and he's just talking, being a goofball, like he always is. And we're like, "We want some donuts." And he's like standing in front of them. And finally, my mom walked by him and pushes him up against the wall and says, "You don't stay, you don't get between uh, uh, dad man walking in law, I can't say our real name, and a Krispy Kreme donut." And so, yes, and so she pushed him up against the wall, and then we ate the donuts. And he also was talking about something, ranting about something, and it took him too long to get there. He's actually agreed with what my mom was talking about. but it took them so long to do it. She whacked him.
Yeah.
And
That
just whacked him hard. And he was like, "What? I was agreeing with you." She goes, "Next time, get to the point quicker."
Exactly. That was crazy. Well, thank you for carrying and promoting yourself. They do have them in the shop tonight.
Oh,
So
okay.
when we're done, I'm going to do that. Snortopoopa said, "Did you do the
Yes.
word puzzle?"
Yeah, and I answered. I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did. Will do it every weekend and on Wednesdays. And if there's times I don't get certain parts of my show done, I will do it then too. But always on Wednesday and on the weekends, I will do the puzzle. Since I'm planning on doing, for those that don't know, yesterday on my stream, Dadman.
He and Sandy Welcome could not hold out any longer. He's so hungry he's going to heat up some leftover etouffee.
Not quite donuts, but still quite good.
Yeah.
So I'm doing my show, and Dadman like runs out the door, and doesn't say anything. He just runs out the door, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess put garbage or something. I don't know. So I'm just talking, and I forget that he even left, and then I hear the door locking, and he comes in with a package, and I opened the package live, and it was a gift from B from O, S from O, and R from O. The family, the family. I don't know why I keep saying Friends television series set. They're like the stage set of the coffee shop, and so I got that as a gift. So I'm going to be building that not this week, but the next week, because this week I'm building the Sakura house, which I call it Lego build, which has 3,220 pieces. And I was looking at them. Wait, I'm going to take myself off screen just for a second, because I want to show you the size of these pieces.
Wow.
And I don't have my camera quite set up, so give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, while that happens, we're going to transition from donuts to the history talk a little bit. We have April 6th to 7th, 1862 was the site of the largest battle in the Western Theater to date early in the war in Hardin County, Tennessee. All right. Oh, well, that quick. She's that good.
Yes, that is that quick. Okay, so this is the build that we're doing tomorrow. Let me see if I can get pretty much the picture. That's the build, okay? Look at the size of these bricks. That's teeny, guys. And there's 3,220 of them. Look at that little one right there compared to my finger. I'm trying to get it up close where you can see. They're very small. So this is going to be extremely interesting build. They're compared to my finger. I can't there. This is like a two brick. A two brick right
now,
there.
Is this one an actual Lego brand build?
No, this one is not Lego. This one is actually, I believe, from a Japanese company, but I do not. I think it's from them, but I can't read Japanese, unfortunately.
Sort of people said you.
So yes, it's very small.
Oh, you'll go blind building that. That's what Snortopoopa is saying.
So yeah. Okay, here's a good way you can tell the difference. Okay. This is a plate, a bottom plate from Legos, okay? This is the bottom plate for what I'm doing.
Oh, wow.
That's how much smaller. I'm trying to get to the, that's how much smaller it is.
That is something else,
So yes. It's going to be insane, guys, insane. So for every circle on here, there's 2 circles on here. So wow, yeah, that's crazy. So it's going to be small, insane.
Yep. Need the magnifying glasses too. So
what the hell was I thinking when I put this on my wish list?
No, hey.
I was thinking it's going to be fun.
Cherry blossoms, I think, probably.
Yeah, I just thought it was pretty. I like the waterfall. I like the translucent bricks that they do here. It's just gonna be really fun. I like the little boat, the bird, giant birds. So anyway, that's what I'm doing tomorrow and Thursday. And maybe probably doing a extra impromptu stream also to finish it. We'll see. But yeah, I'll let you get back to your show.
All
But
right.
yep.
Well, we're gonna hit this. We're gonna hit the anniversary of Shiloh Battlefield. Before you leave, did you have any memories of Shiloh? I mean, other than Russell's Beef House.
You
Uh,
know, honey, when you ask me to remember specific
okay, I
places,
got you.
I am not good. All I can say is just in general, the going onto any battlefield to me is very humbling, emotional. You can, I can feel just it's just like you can feel all the anguish and the hurt and the pain. And so anyone that I go on is uh, very um, humbling
Mm-hmm.
to me. Um, Especially when you know that they're actual battlefields.
Right.
Some of the forts and things like that are you know that that death happened there, but it wasn't on such a huge scale as on the battlefields, and
Yeah.
it's just like you can I can just feel it. And
And this is the one that had the peach orchard and the bloody pond. You
oh,
know,
okay, okay, yes, yes,
and
the
we
one
actually
with
had
all the really fancy monuments.
yeah, and then we
Oh
had the
yeah.
disgruntled ranger that was like,
Yes.
yeah,
Well,
he
I do
found
think legends happen and things kind of grow. And you know, and then you learn, you kind of know that that's not true, but it's still part of the
oh
myth and the
oh
lore of the battle.
and I actually have something on that real quick. Let me show it since you brought that up. This is and I'm going to show more pictures as I get through it. For everybody. Um, the peach orchard, remember? Because we were there this
Mhm.
time of year, which was the actual anniversary, and
Mhm.
this was this is probably 8 years ago or something. But you know, this is the famous peach orchard,
Not
and
many
what
peaches left.
one of the what's what one of the this particular ranger said is, just look at you. You're here at the same time of year. You
There's no
know,
blossoms. There's
yeah.
no leaves, yeah.
So, but hey, that's
But
just
like I
good.
say, it's part of the lore
Hmm.
and part of the you know, the oral history of the battle. So even if it's not accurate, I think it
Hmm.
kinda, tries to get the feel, the melancholy, the sadness. You know,
Hmm.
when they say the bloody pond, you know, that scientifically, that can't happen. The pond cannot turn bloody red. There's just not that much blood. There's too much water. It would be diluted. But to get the sentiment and the feeling of what it was like with the tremendous
Hmm.
death and um, carnage that happened,
Hmm.
the bloody it kind of conveys that more than just saying there was a lot of death. You know, the field was red with blood. The pond turned, you know, bloody red. It gives you can really feel, um, imagine how horrific it was. So whether yes, there was some they said that a pond turned red with blood, which is not really possible. Um, but the fact that it just gave that, like I say, that feeling,
There
and
were
you
not
know,
that many wounded in that one area, though. That's the
yeah,
thing is there were not. There were a lot of soldiers
not and
wounded and death. that got to the area, but not, there wouldn't have been that many. It would have taken a
Right.
lot. But that's the other thing, is that a lot of history we find out based on even eyewitness accounts, you have to question, because there's some historians I follow about the Battle of Midway. There's especially aviators that said that they did this and this, and looking back later, the evidence does not show that it's possible things have. Oh, Stoney's got pizza.
Oh, yeah. Well, think about this. If you were in a room, let's say we had a room and we had, we were in a auditorium and we were all just sitting, and we have 5 people walk in front of us. And then later, everyone said, write down what 5 people walked in front of you.
Right.
Everybody's going to be different. And we're just sitting there. You imagine all these people, they're in battle. And, and they're recalling stuff.
Well, yeah, so there's a lot to that. Yeah.
So, they're not lying. It's just their perception at the time.
Yep.
And it's, yeah.
I love traveling battlefields with you. So I'm going to move off into this. If you want to stay, fine. If you need to leave, go ahead.
Go work on
exactly
stuff ready for tomorrow.
Well, get ready to go get donuts when I'm done.
Oh, so. Yay.
All right.
Thanks, Jess. No, really. No, thank you. This will be fun. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
See you in a bit. Okay. So basically, we had the Battle of Shiloh, as the North likes to call it, but as we good Southerners like to call it, Pittsburg Landing, because we go on the geography. Was April 6th to April 7th, a 2-day battle where the Union finally advanced into the Confederate interior and moved south, moving on eventually towards the important rail junction at Corinth, Mississippi. Union forces, U.S. Grant's army was camped up near Pittsburg Landing, waiting on Don Carlos Buell's Army of the Ohio to come down and to reinforce it before moving south. So Albert Sidney Johnston, commander of the Confederate forces, saw an opportunity to take the initiative to launch an attack and defeat Johnston's army before he got reinforced. Now, this comes after. And we're going to see how this is on the river. This is on the Tennessee River. Rivers are very important in the Civil War. This is about a month and a half up in early February. We had falls of Fort Henry, Fort Donelson that Grant took up in Kentucky, or northern Tennessee, Kentucky border before this. So the Union drive to come down to further split the Confederacy is part of this whole move that they have. On the first day, though, let's see, we're going to take a look here. Let's see, this. Okay, here we got here on the first day of the battle here. It shows you the positions of the first day of the battle here. Let me go ahead. As you can see, Grant's forces are up on Pittsburg Landing. Albert Sidney Johnston's forces are coming from the south. A lot of this is very woody, marshy terrain, and a lot of spots you can see over near the Tennessee River. The terrain markings are a lot. This is the initial positions of the Confederate forces and the Union forces. If you see in the middle here, this Benjamin Prentiss was one of the division commanders. This is an area called the Hornet's Nest. We're going to see some pictures about the Hornet's Nest in a minute, where they said it got its name from the sound of the trees and the bullets and all flying. So it was going so fast and furious, they gave it the name the Hornet's Nest. But as you see, basically, here's the initial positions. Day 1. Day 2, they fall back to this where this road here, which is where the visitor center is, on this ridge here. Pittsburg Landing is right there, this flat part. Deal Branch is over here. There's some Indian burial mounds right in here. But this terrain is very up and down, like it is. It's a ravine. It's very hard terrain to try to move through, down and up. But this last ridge up here was Grant's last defense line, where he was able to place artillery. Also, they had 2 Union gunboats off here in the Tennessee River that protected the end of day 1 and overnight shelled the Confederate positions. The Lexington and the Tyler were timberclads that were used in holding Grant's line. So as we see with day one, the Confederates take the initiative. They push the Union back, but also on day one, a lot of Confederate ill discipline, raiding camps, wasting time, looting. They're undersupplied. A lot of other reasons for it. The offensive slowdown around the Hornet's Nest, which slows the overall Confederate delay trying to take the one spot. Eventually, Prentiss has to surrender, running out of ammunition, but he did his job with holding up the Confederate advance. Meanwhile, attacking the Peach Orchard, Albert and Sidney Johnston rode forward to try to rally the men to drive the offensive forward, was shot through the kneecap. Well, he didn't die from his wound. Well, he didn't die from the bullet itself, but he died from the loss of blood because he had loss of feeling in his extremities, and he never knew that he was shot to begin with until it was too late. As some historians speculate, he could have been saved with a tourniquet, but he would be the highest ranking officer of either army to die in the war. So that leads us back, like I said, to that final defense line on day two. Let's see, on day two. Let's see. We got initially here, the Confederate, this is a little bit later in the day with the advance, but really the Union forces had been up here closer to Pittsburg Landing over the night. This shows how this shows that after the reinforcements of the Army of the Ohio under Don Carlos Buell come in, they reinforce Grant and start driving the Confederate forces back, who are now outnumbered at this point. And they start driving the Confederate forces back and out of here. You can still see where the gunboats were positioned and how far they drove the Confederates back through the Peach Orchard, back through Bloody Pond, back over the same ground that had been taken the day before. So really, you have a battle that swung back and forth over 2 days, because that brings up the great quote that our great resident historian here said: Sherman at the end of day one goes up to Grant, who's Sherman's being a division commander of Grant's army. Well, Grant, we've had the devil's own day, haven't we? Grant, yes, lick them tomorrow, though. One of the most famous quotes. And also, after this battle, many contended that critics of Grant contended he was drunk, that his army was not prepared. He had always had accusations of alcoholism, and a lot of people were jealous of him. But Lincoln, they wanted him removed, but Lincoln responded, "I can't spare this man. He fights." And if you know anything about the Eastern Theater, because we're over in the Western Theater here, but we got the Virginia Creeper, McClellan, and all the generals there would fight one battle and they'd stop. Hooker, McClellan, Pope, that's what this is probably Grant's first. He's recognized for Fort Donelson, but this really is the first major battle where he comes through, and it's a bit of a battle of attrition, but it happens. And hello, Prismatics. Good to see you tonight. How are you today? Good to see you. Love the avatar there. Well, 10 of y'all tonight. Hey, welcome. So basically the battle sums up this way. I can tell you all kinds of that's and maps to show you which way people moved, but the main thing is in this battle there were 110,000 roughly of both sides engaged, about 45,000 Confederates, 65,000 Union. Now, and there were two armies of the Union, the Army of the Tennessee and the Army of the Ohio, against the Army of the Mississippi, or Trans-Mississippi. Also, on Johnston's death, Pierre Gustave Toutant Beauregard takes over command again, who you may remember led the action of firing on Fort Sumter and also helped with Albert Sidney Johnston to win the battle at First Manassas. So, yeah, exactly. Snortopoopa said Grant was constantly backstabbed by second-rate generals, and Halleck was above Grant for the longest time, but Halleck let his personal feelings and jealousies cloud the judgment in Grant's performance many times. So, absolutely. So we've got 65,000 for the Union, 44,000 Confederates. You can see why the numbers mattered. This was the bloodiest war in American history to date. 23,746 casualties in this one battle. 13,000 Union, 10,000 Confederate. The Union had 17, both of them had roughly 1,750 killed with about 8,000 men wounded, and the Union had about 3,000 men missing and captured. The Confederates had about 1,000 missing and captured. So, yes. And exactly, this is always the debate about generals and whether they overstep, and you need them, but sometimes you got to restrain them. I know Douglas MacArthur is another one that we have. The more I watch of certain channels and stuff, there's more questions about Dugout Doug, as they called him, and different things about wanting to fight all kinds of different wars and PR objectives. So, yeah, but sometimes you got to have a general that will fight, will push, and go through. So, so that is in a nutshell the Battle of at Shiloh or Pittsburg Landing. But what I want to do now is show y'all some of the pictures that we had in some of the areas, and we can talk about it. And this is like right driving up here, because this is in Hardin County. It's in southern Tennessee. Corinth, Mississippi, like I said, the rail junction was but see, Putin's cat, there's a genius to some, not a genius to others. There are a lot of historians that contend what he did was not right, and that's another topic for another day, though. That one is opening a whole can of worms. It's worth a discussion. I mean, there are some good channels out there. Unauthorized History of the Pacific War is one of my favorites to watch, and I know they talk about that a lot. You may not like them if you're a fan of MacArthur, but they go into a lot of detail. Snortopoopas didn't care about MacArthur, but Patton was good. Exactly. All right. So just beautiful. And what I hope you see with these pictures is you'll get an appreciation for how pristine and preserved these battlefields in the Western Theater are. Tupelo was one city block. Some of the ones up in Kentucky were kind of built up and around but a lot of these in Mississippi and Tennessee were just still pristine here. Because see, this is the writing in. We got here. This is where, like I said, this is the Army of the Second Corps of the Army of Mississippi, because each of these signs means something. I'm going to show you about that. This is Braxton Bragg, Mr. Eyebrows, Snortopoopas. Yeah. Yep. And yeah, that's why MacArthur is something you have to look at completely as a separate subject, because there's a lot he did good, a lot that people question. But see, these signs are really good because they tell you the positions of the units, where they were. They tell you the officers, the commanders, and stuff like that. And see, we got Army of the Ohio under Don Carlos Buell, who was also up at Perryville before this. And Bull Nelson's division marched to get there, because overnight, and that's why the terrain and the shelling helped halt the Confederate advance on the end of day one, because it allowed time for the Union reinforcements under the Don Carlos Buell. William Nelson was the first one to arrive to get on the scene to reinforce the Union to start their counteroffensive. And see, you notice each have different colors. So the Army of Ohio is in yellow. The Army of the Tennessee under Major General U.S. Grant is in blue. Now, what's interesting here, folks, look at some of the names. W.H.L. Wallace was mortally wounded. This was about, yeah, he could hide a regiment of infantry in his eyebrows. Absolutely. But William H.L. Lewis was mortally wounded. His wife was on transport to go visit him. He was shot in the head. He would linger at least long enough for her to make it there, and she was at his side when he died. And also they positioned some of the cannons for the monuments where division commanders died and officers died, and certain markings. Also, look at 3rd Division, Major General Lewis Wallace. Who knows what Lewis Wallace is famous for that is not military, well, is not Civil War? I think Snorta Poopas knows this one, but hey, what famous work of literature and movie? Exactly, Snorta Poopas. Ben-Hur. Major General Lewis Wallace wrote Ben-Hur, later to become what we know it to be this day. So, a little bit of trivia for you too. And so, they like, again, it talks about the positions where this army was camped here. It also describes the actual details of the day's action and through days the second day. So, yeah. All right. And like I said, these are explanatory because the squares are the armies themselves, like we saw in the last ones. These that have ornamental corners are where troops were actually engaged. The oval tablets mentioned where troops were engaged on the second day. So one was on first day, one was on second day, and the camps are like the home plate shapes. So, all right, this is a location of one of the headquarters of brigade, the 1st Division of the Army of the Tennessee. Now, notice that the Union forces are the Army of the Rivers, Army of the Ohio, Army of the Tennessee. You'll see later in the war that that the Confederate. Let me go back real quick. See, we have Army of the Mississippi, but later in the war, the Confederates changed their naming structure, and now it becomes Army of Tennessee, whereas the Union would have Army of the Tennessee. Overall, the northern, this is part of the visitor center here at Shiloh, which is he was a better writer than a general. Yeah, that happens quite a lot. Yeah. So we got U.S. Grant on the left, who served in the Mexican War. Of course, Don Carlos Buell is here on the right with the Army of the Ohio, who did not last much longer. I think I messed up time. Perryville's a little bit later in the year, I believe. And soon after that, Don Carlos Buell is gone. So, all right. And a little description of the exhibits about the soldiers on both sides, of what they're equipped with. You can see this in the visitor center and things like that. So and then now we got the Southern commanders, like I mentioned, Albert Sidney Johnston, who was highly respected before the war. Of course, had some criticism after Fort Henry. Donelson fell, but honestly, if you go visit those forts, you can understand how those positions were not tenable to an army that was outnumbered and outsupplied. Second command is Pierre Gustave Toutant Beauregard, who apparently never found favor with Jeff Davis and the Confederate political class. So then he had to take over day 2. Definitely not the same type of commander. Ignored some of the reports after day 1 that they were being told, and timing of reinforcements, I will tell you. So, of course, it shows how the 9th Mississippi are here doing drills. Some of the weapons that they had. Of course, we got that again. Let's see. Okay, and here, we also saw this at Wilson's Creek. This is a caisson inside a caisson. Show you how you would do the elevations, do your ranges, all the calculations so that you can fire your artillery. Of course, you got solid shot. You also got canister here, which is like a big shotgun, especially when they gave the double canister on the approach. That was horrendous. So here's William H.L. Wallace here, 2nd Division Army of the Tennessee. He was mortally wounded at the spot about 6 p.m. And it has to do with the cannon that is positioned straight upright. Has a significance in its marking. As you see, like I said, and like a lot of the Eastern Theater battlefields, there's not a lot of growth up against. Actually, in this area, there's little growth up on it. It really is a park held by itself. This also illustrates the hornet's nest again, We saw the peach order earlier, and we're going to see it again in a minute. Bloody Pond here, but the Hornet's Nest is anchored to its right, and all these positions circled, but this one position ended up holding up the Confederate advance long enough, to end the first day. And so they had a sunken road, and for 8 hours, the Confederate infantry charged 11 times, repulsed by many balls. So, some of the most desperate and fighting, and deadly fighting in the Civil War here. This is also looking from the sunken road, looking out where the Confederates would have attacked from. This is some of the terrain that's in there now as of today. Of course, Benjamin Prentiss was the general in charge of this division that held out this spot, allowed Hurlburt to retreat. This division basically surrendered once it ran out of ammunition and could no longer hold the position, but they had done what they did. One of the things with this battlefield that's really, really neat is right here, because you can see the timelines. It shows you day one, Sunday, April 6th, then Monday, April 7th. And it tells you when it begins, shows you daylight and all, shows you when it starts to get dark. And then you got midnight, and then the final ends. That's really cool, because these placards that are in the field will tell you when it is. So the Union forces didn't surrender to around 6 o'clock on day one, which really, bought time for Grant to reestablish the defensive line. Of course, here's the center of the Union line in the Hornet's Nest here, one of the little markers here. This one shows you more of the terrain, shows you where they would have had position, but I show this because this is an Ohio monument, because, it's got artillery. You'll see that all these different parks have different types of monuments and things. So it really, really different parts of architecture and stuff. Markings for the Wisconsin infantry. This is where they were engaged at the Hornet's Nest. Because as you can see, remember the shape, it's the square, but it's got the corners. Ruggles Battery, of course, is over here firing on the Hornet's Nest. The Confederates brought up so many cannon to try to soften the Union line. The first round was not enough, so they brought up everything they had. Now, Shiloh's called Place of Peace. And actually, there was a church there on the grounds, Shiloh Log Church. It was named as Place of Peace. It was originally built in 1851. It's a wood structure. Well, it was destroyed. Obviously, it was destroyed during the battle. So what they did is, and you can see down here about veterans and other national park, other people came together to actually reconstruct it as close as they could to the original structure. This is the inside part. You got your wooden pulpit there. You got your benches. This is according to apparently close to the structure that was originally there. Here's actually a burial site for a bunch of unknown Confederate soldiers. Not brick, no. Not brick. It's not too. Remember, it's all wood back then, but not brick. That's cool. Glad you're making great progress, though. Stunning. But what they did in here, this is a bunch of unknown Confederates put into one mass grave. You can see it says Confederate soldiers, Shiloh, to the Confederate dead in the trenches, erected by Tennessee Division, UDC, 1935. So, okay. Again, the Union line of defense. You got markers throughout here with a lot of stuff here. Again, remember how it talks about the daytime. This is early. This is near Fraley's Field. This is like when Snort Poopa said about the bunnies, instead of the squirrels. This is up in the early part of the day. Because Save Field, this is definitely in the first part, 7:30 a.m. And actually, an interesting story is that one of the colonels said, "Screw his commander's orders." He sent on his own initiative out a bunch of pickets who managed to happen to run into the Confederate forces to get the word back, but still it was not enough time because the Confederates ended up running through the original camps early in the morning, completely catching the Union off guard and not prepared for a battle. Back here, this is again another map. Yep. So, and this is it. This is the Colonel Everett Peabody. He had already been wounded 4 times, killed near his headquarters in this right area right here by a mini ball. But he's the one that had sent out a reconnaissance patrol that discovered the approach of the Confederates, because they had been getting rumors of movements and stuff. And, he didn't listen to commanders. He just took his own initiative to get it. Again, we got more headquarters and fallen officers markers. Another burial. That's another burial place. Another field that we've got here. This is a long view of the peach orchard. Now, to Jess's point, well, maybe the trees took down. It's possible and it's probable, because a lot of times the terrain does not necessarily look the same, but it's not necessarily that I think what our comment really is earlier is even if these were not the original trees, they're not blooming at this time of year. And that's the thing. The accounts had it like bodies laying under and the bodies being covered by falling peach blossoms. It's kind of like the cherry blossoms in Washington. It depends on the weather and depends on a lot of things. Depends on how they really come back and when they bloom. So, but that April 6th, 7th, which was the same days, wasn't a sign of a bloom coming up. And of course, like I said, here's the peach orchard here. Off to this spot over here is where Albert Sidney Johnston was mortally wounded. And you can see bloody ponds over here too. Another view of the peach orchard. And here's Bloody Pond, really brown right now, very ugly looking now, but this is how small it is. Was it red? Maybe it could have been, but it had to, we weren't there. We just have to, we know, but it would have to take an awful lot to turn anything like that. And it was true that they were bathing in it, they were drinking out of it. It's the same contaminated water, but it's it's kind of hard to believe that it would turn red to that extent. But we weren't there, because also one of the things is to legends, not just legends. We grow history in our minds, but they get romanticized and stuff like that. Well, also you got people that may want to sell property. So what better value to make your property more valuable than to not now for now, but back then when they were living like a year after the battle and stuff like that, try to up its property values. So, yeah, exactly. So we don't know. And that's what the thing is, though. We do not know. We were not there. But also, eyewitness accounts may not always be the most trustworthy. So it's a beautiful place. Just look at the beautiful nature. We saw plenty of deer, too, here. So, yeah. And that's why they're saying blood had turned to water murky red. But, we'll see. And then this guy, that's the great thing with all these signs. They tell you about accounts and what they do. And here's another view back towards the peach orchard with Bloody Pond in it. This is the Tennessee River. I love this. This is one of my favorite places to ever be on any park, is along this stretch, coming by Deal Branch around the Indian burial mounds up to the far left edge of the Union flank. And there's the USS Tyler and the USS Lexington timberclads that were out here that were also providing fire into the Confederate positions overnight. So we got that. Another view. This water does come up and flood off this road before. I've seen it on Facebook a few times where the road's been closed because of flooding from the river. So, of course, they had there's a marker here towards those 2 Union timberclads, looking down into the ravines that are there. And they are deep ravines, folks. If you like the Confederates try to go down and up them, you really couldn't. Plus the woodedness. Here's back to the visitor center. here is like the last line up here. This is a higher ridge up above where the Confederates were advancing, so it's a perfect place for artillery. Plus, you also got your reinforcements from the Army of the Ohio coming in overnight, because it's right there. The Pittsburg Landing is. So, all right, and as you see, here's a mini ball format of a monument for the Army of the Tennessee. So, hey, yeah, that's what's so beautiful on all these battlefields. You can see all kinds of different monuments, themes, and everything. Hello, your Muslim uncle. Welcome. Good to see. It's really pretty. Reminds me of this nature park south of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, around Fort Lauderdale. We can feed the squirrels. Awesome. Awesome. Glad to hear that you can. All right. And we got, of course, monuments here for the people of Michigan, about the Michigan infantry here, their losses, what they did. Kind of like our Illinois monument at Vicksburg, which is really, really a haunting mausoleum. Deer, like I said, plenty of deer just roaming through here. The Missouri, I wish Sci-Fi Mombi was here. I had to send this to her because there you go, Missouri. Union Army of the Tennessee. These were the elements that were there that day. And they also gave a shout out to the Confederate Army of the Mississippi from Missouri, which, as you know, is a border state, but never really went to the South. So you only have one unit two looks like, but predominantly stayed Union. So a deal. Well, I thought we saw a deer butt for a second, but there's another deer. Another view of the Tennessee River. And of course, there's the last line. This is up along the river where that road runs. Pittsburg Landing's down here in the Deal Branch. Like I told you, the terrain in there is nasty. And of course, you got 2 Union gunboats and also this artillery over here. It was really at the end of a tough, long day. It was not penetrable. Of course, the Union left. Talk about the Timberclads, the Lexington, and the Tyler. So they took up positions, and now they said that most of those shells hurled harmlessly over the Confederates' head, but it was enough to keep them from getting a good night's sleep. So, also, like most national battlefields, there is a national cemetery there. You can see the headstones here with them. Here's the outside gates that we have here to this U.S. National Cemetery, where it's not just Civil War dead that died there, that are buried there. But here, this reflects why the national cemeteries were created and why they have strict rules on them. General Orders number 80 from the War Department, Adjutant General's Office, Washington, September 1, 1875. This is after the war. 1. Information having been received of the desecration of soldiers' graves by picnic parties in the National Cemetery and by vending refreshments therein. Wow, vending refreshments in a cemetery. Wow. Therein it is hereby ordered that hereafter no such practices shall be allowed in any national cemetery, nor any adjoining ground within the control of the United States. 2. Visitors will not be allowed in the national cemeteries before sunrise or after sunset. No refreshments will be taken into these cemeteries. 3. In national cemeteries where driving is permitted, the speed must be confined to a walk. If it is found difficult to enforce this rule at any cemetery, the gates will be closed over the carriageway and all driving prohibited. Now, I am not aware of where you could drive. Maybe the national one in Arlington, Virginia, Snortopoopas, you may know. We do have other national cemeteries too. Okay. We have one where we are, and you can drive into them because you have to have burials and stuff now. But it is interesting to see they're very specific about these rules, and how you respect them, and including the speed at which you drive. And number 4, these orders will be conspicuously posted at the main entrance of each national cemetery and will be rigidly enforced by the superintendents by order of the Secretary of War, E.D. Townsend, Adjutant General. So, Yes, Grant had a lot to do with Missouri staying in control of the Union. Yeah, Grant and there were others. Some again slips my mind from Wilson's Creek over there, but yeah, there were a lot of actions with Grant. There were and other generals that really worked to keep Missouri from going towards the south. Let's see, and here this is the Gettysburg Address. So this is the outside the park where the famous speech. The 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. And it continues down to that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people shall not perish from the earth. So, and that is what the battlefield looks like today, Shiloh National Military Park, or I'll still call it Pittsburg Landing, which is really, I got a little fence post down there, a little pole down there saying Pittsburg Landing. So it's kind of cool, kind of interesting. All right. Well, folks, I think I'm going to go ahead. We've gone an hour and a half. Wow, this has been a fun stream. Been quite a bit. So, but I want to go back to one thing for your Muslim uncle. If you are still here, my friend, let me see. Hold on a second. My mouse is going crazy. All right. One more time for everybody. And your Muslim uncle, if you're still here. All right. To everybody else out there, Jess, I will get to your cake another time. Putin's cat, you'll have to come back and see that cake because it is a theme for Fortnite. But if I'm going to go get those stupid donuts tonight, I bet gotta get my butt moving. Here, your total solar eclipse donuts. Go get them. I'm actually going to go get some now myself, friends. So anyway, on that note, thank y'all for being here tonight. Appreciate y'all coming, hanging out with me tonight, chilling out, hearing a little bit about, okay. So did you see this though, your Muslim uncle? I just want to make sure you saw this. I will be on, I got to talk to the missus. We were actually going to call it an early night, but I may have to pop on with Martin D with a C at 10 o'clock tonight on his Geekery show just to show this off, this baby. So, but yeah, we'll see. Take measurements. Yeah, I'll do that. We can definitely take measurements on it. So, all right. So with that, folks, I appreciate y'all being here. Still 12 of y'all here. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Thank you for our new subscriber tonight. Wow, 16 likes. Thank y'all. Now we're 610. Thank you. Prismatics came through. I appreciate that. I hadn't seen you in a while. Insanity Welcome is our new subscriber tonight. Thank you again for the new subscriber. Yeah, and the things looks like a Martian flying saucer. Exactly. The eye of divine punishment probably tastes like brimstone. Well, we will tell you later. Okay? I will tell you. With that, friends, make sure that you have liked, subscribed to the channel, and follow us on Twitch. But I want to remind everybody, tomorrow, our next stream, looks like the Cosmos from Transformers. Yeah, that's kind of what they did, Stunning, because they put the little silver sparklies on the outside of it. So, there. Yeah. There you go. So I'm sure it is. And Snore Poop is ways apart. Tomorrow night, though, 8 p.m. Make sure you get the notifications on your YouTube or follow me on Twitter, DadmanWalking55, because tomorrow night at 8 p.m. I have the great Lorena Creole on with me live tomorrow night. So hope to see you there for that. Thank you for everybody. Enjoy this, the history lesson. Enjoy the eclipse tomorrow safely and fun. And Cosmos was an Autobot. He turned into a UFO. Yeah, that's why I'm kind of speculating that 450 is a little bit understated. So on that note, everybody, y'all have a wonderful night, great night, and hopefully see you at Mark D with C if I'm there tonight at 10 o'clock. Or go see Lorena's show in 25 minutes. Welcome to Florida. Go say hi. And we will catch you next time. Bye, all.